All right, apprentices, welcome back. Today, we're going to get real about the cost of workplace harassment. We're not just talking about the rules in a handbook. We're going to dive into the so what of it all, what it actually does to people and to the entire company. Let's get into it.
So let's start with this. You've probably heard it before, right? Someone says something out of line and then it's, oh, it was just a joke, or it was just a harmless comment. But is it really? Think about what happens when you drop a stone into a still pond. The ripples spread out way, way further than you'd expect. That one harmless comment can do the exact same thing.
And that first, most powerful ripple, it always hits an individual. The person who is on the receiving end of that comment or action is right at the center of it all. They're the ones who feel it first, and they're the ones who bear the heaviest weight.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. In a healthy workplace, you're building confidence, you're feeling good about what you do, you're focused, you're growing. But when harassment enters the chat, all of that gets erased. Your confidence turns into anxiety. Job satisfaction becomes a fear of even showing up. And that career growth, it slams to a halt. You're not thriving anymore. You're just surviving.
And this is a really critical point. This stuff doesn't just stay at work. It doesn't magically disappear when you clock out for the day. That stress, that anxiety, it follows you home. It turns a problem at work into a problem with your life, affecting your health, your relationships, and just your overall sense of who you are.
So that huge personal impact isn't happening in a bubble. It creates a shockwave. That's the next ripple, and it spreads outward until it hits the entire organization, hard. The damage to a company isn't just one single thing. It's like a hit from all sides at once. Productivity tanks because people feel unsafe and distracted. Team morale just completely plummets. And then you get the big, scary ones. The company's reputation gets torched, and you get hit with some very real, very expensive legal and financial costs. And when we talk about financial costs, we are not talking about chump change. Employers have a responsibility, a duty of care to keep you safe. If they fail, they can get dragged into incredibly expensive legal battles that can seriously damage or even sink a business. But even more than the money, this is what can be so devastating. Once a company gets a reputation for having a toxic culture, it's almost impossible to fix. And attracting great, talented people like you, becomes a nightmare. Who'd want to work there? Okay, I know this all sounds pretty dark. So how do we stop it? How do we stop these ripples before they even get a chance to start? Well, your first and best line of defense is knowledge. It's about building a breakwater to stop that wave in its tracks. I absolutely love this analogy. Training isn't supposed to be boring. It's about being prepared. Think about it. A fire extinguisher is a vital safety tool. You really hope you never have to use it, but you absolutely must know where it is and how it works. Training is your fire extinguisher for a toxic workplace. It empowers you to protect yourself and everyone around you.
And you know what? Good effective training really just comes down to these three simple, powerful things. First, you need to really understand what harassment actually is and what it isn't. Second, you have to learn the right way to report it so you're safe. And third, you need to know who has your back. What's the support system?
Now, training is essential, but it has to be backed up by clear, transparent rules that everybody knows and follows. The rule book really, really matters. A clear harassment policy is so much more than just a piece of paper. It is a promise. It's a promise from the company that says, we will listen to you, we will investigate fairly, and, most importantly, we will protect you from any backlash for speaking up. Okay, but you can have the best training and the best policies in the world, and they won't mean a thing if they're not supported from the very top. And that brings us to maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle: leadership. It all starts at the top. You just can't create a respectful culture by sending out a memo. It's built by what people do, day in and day out, especially by what the leaders do. Because here's the thing you have to remember: the standard you walk past is the standard you accept. So this means leaders have a job that they just can't delegate. They have to walk the talk and model what respectful behavior looks like. They need to set a crystal clear, zero-tolerance expectation. They have to hold everyone accountable for their actions, no exceptions. And their main job is to actively build an environment where people feel valued and treated with dignity. But while it definitely starts at the top, it doesn't end there. This is on all of us, from the newest apprentice all the way to the CEO. Every single one of us shares the responsibility for creating a workplace where people feel safe and respected. We all have a part to play. So let's end on this, and I want you to really think about it. This isn't just theory.
What is one practical, real-world action you can take starting today to make things better? What is one thing you will do to champion respect where you work? Let's get ready to talk about it.